I think a good example of how my life can be and what my days can be is the example from this morning. I get really frustrated as well, so I'm sorry if I get frustrated now or come across as kind of um, I hope I don't come across as aggressive, but I'm very emotional about these things, so hopefully I won't come across like that. So this morning I woke up and I kind of had an idea what I want to wear and like whatever, like the normal stuff in the day, like how I'm gonna do my hair and how I'm gonna look like. And as I get dressed and I start doing my makeup, I kind of have these moments when I don't feel like the outer me is matching the inner me. Sometimes I might get feelings of am I being too feminine, which is kind of annoying and silly sometimes. And I do feel like if the society wouldn't have certain gender roles and certain things that women should look like this and men should look like this, it would make this kind of stuff easier in my head. So sometimes when I'm doing certain stuff I get really frustrated and I can't look myself in the mirror. So I was doing my makeup and I had to look myself in the mirror, obviously, as this shit doesn't just go on itself. And I get really frustrated because I feel like my face is too feminine at that point, and I still want to go forward with how I want to look like today, and I'm kind of okay now, but at that point I started feeling this is too feminine, I don't want to look too feminine, and it's a crazy feeling that kind of takes over. And especially if someone is paying attention to me at that moment, it just kind of builds up more anxiety for me. So it's better if I'm alone, if I'm distracted a little bit when I'm doing that, so I kind of get over it, then I forget about it. So sometimes I might have music, or I might watch videos, or have like TV show on. That kind of distracts me a little bit, and I can just get on with my day. And I'll kind of get over it a little bit. But obviously there are also days when the feeling is so overwhelming that I don't feel comfortable looking the way I am, that I have to change completely what I'm wearing and how I am coming across. So sometimes I might be in the middle of doing my makeup and I decide I'm too feminine, it doesn't fit me, it doesn't fit how I feel inside. I'll wash it off and put something that kind of makes me come across more masculine, or more, I guess, of a boy, I don't know. It just makes me feel much more comfortable in my skin when I can present what I feel inside to the outside. But because I kind of go from side to side with this, so sometimes I'm okay looking really feminine, sometimes I'm not. It's really hard to navigate, and sometimes I just kind of have to pick my battles that I can win, and then sometimes I have to do the distraction, because I know if it's just a small momentarily feeling, I might be able to get past that and feel okay later. So then I'll just deal with it and just kind of distract myself and finish what I was doing, and then I'll feel okay. Like right now I'm kind of still feeling, because as I'm filming this, obviously I do glance and look at myself every now and then. I do feel like it's not 100% what I would hope to see, but I'm also okay. Like I'm not feeling too badly about how I look like, and how I'm feeling inside. Like those things are kind of almost matching, so it's okay. Some days if I would look myself and I would feel like very uncomfortable, and especially if there would be attention paid towards me, so other people looking at me and complimenting me on how nice I look or something, and I would feel very not sure inside, as in like not sure if I look okay, but not sure if this is the look I want to be coming across. If I want to come across feminine today, then it kind of makes me feel more anxious and uncomfortable. And and it's obviously hard on those people. So I think the person who does suffer most in that is my partner, who I'm in a relationship with. She has to deal with that, kind of, and I hate it that she has to deal with it. Usually it's okay if she just leaves for a moment, like gives me that space, and it's not because she's doing something wrong. It could be completely just me acting up, like I'm just frustrated, annoyed with myself, and have anxiety, and if I just remove one piece that is bringing the anxiety, it helps deal with the moment, and then I'll be fine. But it is sometimes I can be very snappy because I get really frustrated and I'm just so tired of feeling the way I do inside. It is very tiring to be having those ups and downs. I have had moments in my life that I have wished I could feel 100% female or 100% male, so at least I would be clear, and at least I could kind of pursue the way, like be okay with how I present myself as I am, or go through transitioning to become a more masculine person, but because it's so up and down and such a fluctuating thing, it does frustrate me and tire me out that I have to constantly be battling with something to kind of match the outside to the inside feeling. But I do, like I said, I do feel very strongly that if society wouldn't have such strong gender roles, or if certain products wouldn't be so gendered, I would feel much more happier and more comfortable, because I'm 100% behind men wearing makeup and dresses and whatever they fucking want. I don't care. Whatever makes someone happy, I'm 100% behind that. I do think everyone should be allowed to do everything. It shouldn't be gendered. Things shouldn't be gendered. Because then it kind of makes everyone feel much more comfortable doing whatever they love and whatever they want to do. And I do think that by not gendering items, it makes me much more comfortable being able to use them, even though if I would feel very masculine whatever inside, and like very much, I guess that would be it. I would feel very masculine inside and certain feelings inside. I could still wear different looks. I could wear feminine things. I could wear makeup and I could wear dresses without it feeling like others are going to perceive me differently than I feel inside. And it is such a stupid thing when I haven't really cared how other people see me, and I haven't really cared if someone will judge me in certain ways. But then in this kind of, it's such a sensitive subject to me that if I'm a certain way, people will think I'm a certain thing. So if I am dressed feminine, people will assume I'm a girl, which is not, it's not okay, kind of, because I'm not being treated as a person, I'm treated as some image in their head, I guess. It's just, it just doesn't feel right to me. So if people would be treated as they, them, that they are people, they are not the pronoun, they're not, if you call someone a she, you kind of have certain images in your head as the society has taught you to have, like what kind of person they might be. So I really don't think it would be necessary to have. I'm not saying we should be erasing gender identities, definitely not, because that is something that is completely different discussion, I think. Gender roles are roles that are put into society to pressure people to be a certain way. Gender identity is something that people feel themselves, as in, this is how I feel like I'm this, and it can be so relieving for someone to be finally find their identity. Like, I found my genderqueer identity when if I would have been realizing when I was realizing this, if I would have realized, oh, I should be a male, I am a man, finding that would have been very much the same and felt in the sense of like I would have felt so much better because now I know what I am, and I would feel so much relief and comfort in calling myself that. So I don't think, identity should never be erased. It's the roles put onto those identities that should be. I guess I could talk about how my genderqueer identity ties in with my queer identity. So I identify as queer. That is, I'm googling the term queer so that I get a definition of that. Queer is an umbrella term for sexual and gender minorities that are not heterosexual or not cisgender. I guess that would be what it is. For me, well, queer has meant a lot of things, and it can still be used as a slur. So if people are calling you on the street like as a pag term, queer, obviously that's a negative thing, but for me, that's owning the term and using it as something to strength. It's a strong thing to use as a identifier, I think, from myself at least. And I like the term queer because I do not feel like I fit into the category of straight, obviously, because I feel like I'm genderqueer. I'm not 100% female or male. So whoever I would be with, it doesn't feel right to say either gender. If I would be with, wouldn't feel right to say I'm straight, but it also would not feel okay to say gay. That's why I'm queer is kind of, I'm not none of those things. And also because I like to use that term because also I'm not only attracted to one gender, I'm attracted to different genders. So I guess another word for what I could be would be pan or bi, but I like the word queer because it kinda just explains it all in one term instead of me giving all different subcategories, I guess. And genderqueer and queer kind of tie in together at that part where I don't identify as female or male. If I would identify as a female and I would be with a male, that could be that I would identify as straight, or if I was a female and I would be with another female, I might identify as gay, which is something I do kind of put out there sometimes, that I'm gay, blah blah blah, because it's just easier, and it's something I have identified as before because that has been kind of a moving thing for me as well. So I've had relationships with mostly people who have identified as a female, but also with male. So it's something that has kind of fluctuated for me. Sometimes I've been so sure that I'm just gay, I like only girls and I identify as a girl, but then as I have found my identity as a genderqueer, that kind of didn't feel right anymore. And also because I have also dated boys / men, it didn't feel right because obviously I'm in a relationship right now with someone who identifies as a female and calls themselves gay or lesbian or however. So even though I'm in a relationship at the moment, it still doesn't erase my identity as a queer person. Even if I wouldn't identify as genderqueer, if I would identify as a female and I was in a relationship with a girl, I would still identify as someone who's pan or bi or queer. Probably I would still use the word queer. It doesn't matter who I'm with, I will still have attraction to different kinds of people. Also, that's another thing. In a relationship, we still have attraction to other people. It's just not pursuing that, or it's not like I'm falling in love with someone, it's just attractions. And that also, I think, being genderqueer and being genderqueer in a relationship has been something I've had to think about, and I've had to explain to the person I'm with, and the people I've dated, or if I've been in a relationship with, and it's had its ups and downs. Sometimes it's been hard to try to explain to someone, and I felt insecure about myself, and I haven't been sure if I can haven't been able to explore that side of me within that relationship, as the person in previous relationships, the person that I've been with before that very strongly identifies as gay and wouldn't accept that I might have a side to being genderqueer, or like that would sometimes feel a bit masculine or male. They were not happy about that. And it was very hurtful, and obviously that was a relationship that I'm not in anymore. That was not a healthy relationship for me, where I couldn't be myself completely. And the relationship I'm in now is obviously the other person still identifies as a gay person, lesbian person, so they are attracted to girls or women or females, however you want to categorize that, but they also are 100% happy with me being genderqueer and not being kind of 100% female. They're completely fine with that, and they still can identify as a lesbian or gay, because that's how they identify. It doesn't change even if they are dating or in a relationship with a genderqueer person. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't. We're very happy as it is, and that's all that we need. I don't want this to be a serious conversation. Like, it is serious to a certain sense, but I am quite jokey and funny person at times, and I try to be. And I would love it to be a topic that could be talked about in a positive manner. Obviously, it's something that's very personal to me, and that makes it quite emotional to me to talk about, so I can get quite frustrated, as you might have seen. But yeah, I do want to keep it kind of positive. So if you do leave comments, I would hope them to be constructive. Criticism, if there is criticism, and I'm always happy to answer questions. And if you are not sure how to phrase something, maybe ask it private, so that I can reply to it in a good manner, rather than you getting hate from others in the comment section. So it is quite personal topic to a lot of people, and can raise a lot of emotion. Be kind to yourself and others.